Hey guys, so today will be my 2 month on testosterone mark. Yeah, 2 months. Awesome. I guess as far as changes go, I have much more hair growth on my legs, definitely in this area as well. I have a lot of peach fuzz, much more peach fuzz than I did before over here. I actually think I might be getting sideburns coming in around this region. Um, Obviously, you could probably tell that I broke out. It's not too bad, actually. I mean, like, it's just red. It's more of just, like, blemishes instead of, like, I don't, it's just blemish. And, like, I have a couple of areas, just a couple of spots, because of just shaving and, puberty all over again. So, yeah, and I don't really know. I guess everybody kind of knows, like, as far as change, there's, like, nothing, like, different or new. I didn't have my period last month, so I don't think I'm gonna have periods anymore. However, I did still get the side effects of it, just as far as, like, kind of breaking out and then just being a blah face, I guess. I don't know. It was just, like, hormones messing with my brain. Anyways, I guess for my 2 month video, I'm just gonna kind of try to quickly tell how I came out to my parents, not necessarily my family, but my parents. So when I came out to my mom, I originally came out to my mom saying that I was gay, and my mom was like super upset about it because she just didn't see it coming, and she felt like I had lied to her, and she wasn't upset with the fact that I was gay. She was just upset with the fact that I had kept this from her. And, I mean, honestly, I was in denial for a really long time about everything. It's like, I always knew that I was a boy. Like, I didn't know that I was technically a boy, but I always felt like a boy. Like, I always tried to pee standing up when I was younger, and I, like, threw temper tantrums. Like, I would throw legitimate fits because I didn't have a penis. And my family just thought, oh, that's just Kelly being Kelly. And it's like, no, there is something wrong there. I feel like if your daughter is upset that she doesn't have boy genitals, it's probably not normal. Anyways, so there was that. And so just like throughout my life, I just kind of was like in the closet, and I was just didn't want to even admit it to myself. And then when I went to San Francisco for about a year, I just completely started changing who I was because I didn't have to live up to these expectations that people had for me to be, this person that they knew and grew up with. But with these people that had no idea who I was, I could be anybody who I wanted to be, and I finally was able to just be myself. Anyway, so when I came home, I had to come home back from San Francisco because it was hella expensive. I had a girlfriend and all that jazz, and I had to tell my mom because I felt awful, and it's like, well, nothing's gonna change, so I ended up telling my mom, like, hey, I'm gay, and hey, I'm gay, yeah, just like that, and she was upset, of course, and, she got over it, but I still didn't like the fact that I was being called lesbian, like, saying that I was gay or saying that I was lesbian. That didn't feel natural either, like, that title wasn't right. Female, she, girl, those titles weren't correct. And lesbian, gay, like, those titles weren't correct either. They didn't fit. I didn't like them. It still felt incredibly unnatural. But I still kept doing what I was doing. And before I even knew what transgender was or even meant, I was already telling my girlfriend, like, I feel like I am a boy. Like, I feel like I'm not a girl. Like, I'm a boy, but I'm a girl. But we didn't know what transgender meant. So we were talking about me being transgender before I even knew what the hell transgender was. So that was just stressful. So I was, like, to her, she knew that I wasn't gay, but, like, we didn't know what else to call it. And I didn't really know what it was. And then I thought, once I finally figured out what it was, and I was really looking into videos, I was like, holy shit, like, this is me, and I thought that maybe I could just keep living my life, just having my family thinking that I was gay, but, like, I don't really want to upset them, this is a traumatic thing for them, I don't want to be selfish, I don't want to hurt them. And I ended up seeing a therapist because I was getting tested for ADHD, and he was obviously, a therapist as well, and we were talking about it for a while, and he finally, gave me the courage to just, just try it, just do it. And I kind of, I didn't want to do it for a while and things like that, and it pisses me off because when I saw a therapist when I was younger, about 10 years old, she didn't say anything, so that was kind of fucked up, like, what the hell, like, she was a shitty therapist anyways, so whatever. That goes into, like, that just goes into a totally different subject. Anyways, so, yeah, I finally, I was like, alright, fine, I have to tell. And so one night, when I came back from Washington from seeing my girlfriend, I was, like, out on the patio with my mom, and, she was pretty drunk, and her and I were having a very intimate conversation, as intimate as we could get, and it was easier to talk to her about certain things when she was drunk, unfortunately, but gotta take what you can get. So we were talking about it, and she was just saying that, it hurts her that I just hid all these things from her, and it hurt her that, she didn't know the person that my girlfriend knew, which kind of, hit me right at home, because, wow, that's right, my mom really doesn't know who her kid is, because I've been hiding this person from her my entire life. So I was like, you really, and she's like, from now on, like, I just want you to tell me everything, just tell me everything. And you know what, I was like, you really want to know everything? And she said yes, and then I told her, I was like, I am transgender, I told her I am transgender, and I am a boy inside a girl's body. And she was just like, okay, that's all she said. And we didn't really talk about it after that. And of course, after I told her that information, it was a rocky area, because, she sobered up, of course, and it was just kind of an awkward thing, like, you don't really know how to understand it, you don't really know how to grasp it. And then my mom kept, when I really wanted to do something about it, she kept saying, like, well, the medical condition, and, like, what is it going to cause, like, what is it going to do, how is it going to hurt you, how is it going to affect you negatively? She's kind of focusing on the negative aspects of it, which is understandable because she wants me to be healthy. She wants me to be alright, which I totally understand. And, sorry. And, it's like, and I get it, like, I'm this kid, and you don't want me to regret it because there are some permanent effects. And she's like, well, what if you want to have kids down the road, and yada yada. And I ended up showing her a lot of FTM videos on YouTube, and she was like, wow, like, you can't even tell that these men were women. Like, you can't even tell at all. And as far as the regret thing goes, she finally understood when I explained to her that I will never want to have a child. I want to have a family. Yes, I want children, but I don't want to bear those children. It won't feel natural. I will hate it. And I will hate that child that is inside of me. And the only thing that upsets me and breaks my heart as far as the not having children part is the fact that I can't make love to the woman that I'm in love with and create this life together with her. That is the only thing that tears me apart. Not the fact that I can't give birth to a child, but the fact that I can't create this life with this person that I'm in love with. And after that, with my mother, she completely was on board. She understood. Watching those videos and how these guys had the same issues as I did, anxiety, the severe depression, and then getting off their antidepressants after being on testosterone for a while, like, all of these things related to me. Like, it was almost as if she was watching me on the internet because they were all so relevant to my life. And then she was just, like, on board all the way. So my mom is just fantastic with it, My mom is just amazing with this whole process. Now, as far as my stepdad goes, he's an asshole about it, and he says that it's completely unnatural, and he doesn't want to have anything to do with it. He even threatened to take me off insurance so I couldn't do it, but there again, his logic is it's cheaper for me to stay on insurance because if I get injured or something down the road, they're going to have to pay for it. Not the fact that I could, totally be happy. But there's that issue. And then as far as my biological father, he doesn't understand it and he doesn't approve of it, and he's more concerned about his relationship with me than anything else. And honestly, like, I've noticed that he's kind of, backed off a little bit after I told him everything, which is just whatever. My dad was never, like, really there anyways, so, but yeah, he's a very religious man, and he used to be, like, a Christian Nazi back in the day, but he's toned down a little bit, but he still doesn't like it. Like, he thinks that it's almost like women getting plastic surgery to make their breasts bigger or to, like, fix the way they look. To him, I'm just fixing my appearance because I am unsatisfied with my body, and that is not it at all. So, of course there is some misunderstanding and things like that, but honestly, my mom is 110% on board, and because she's actually looked into it, she's taken the time to understand it. She doesn't, close her mind. She's a very open-minded person like myself, just like my grandfather as well, which is her father. So obviously there's probably some relation to all of this understanding. But, with your family, there's going to be people who want to understand but can't let go of who you were. And then there's going to be people who just don't even give a shit. It's like, no, like, this is wrong. This is terrible. And as far as it being unnatural, there is hardly anything that is natural in the world anymore. Quite honestly, I mean, we take antidepressants that mess with the chemical imbalances in our brains, and that's not exactly natural. But nobody wants to live with that condition. Nobody wants to live with being bipolar or being manic. Medication is not a natural thing. Medication is not a natural substance at all. But nobody wants to live unhappy. So why not take advantage of the technology that we have and can use to our better advantage instead of just being miserable for the rest of your lives because you don't want to be natural? Like, I'm sorry, I refuse to do that. And if my happiness is unnatural to you, well, you know what? I'm sorry, fuck you. Like, you take fucking medication too. It's just ridiculous. And there again, that's on another topic. This is probably a really long video. So just to sum it up, that's kind of like what happened.